No, backyard could even fit more.
Yeah, no, I'm picturing it.
And the
now,
backyard stage now just got its top. It just got the top end, and Ryan was so excited. But one of the things during the Sunvolt show, people complaining that the stage wasn't raised, because it wasn't. And it was like Ryan said that on my show. He said one step at a time, One. So now they're having the stage. Right, yeah. They'll have the stage raised and a covering over it. So it's really, they're going to do a lot more of their tests. That's the thing.
It's incredible to see the progress of the amphitheater over the years. I mean, at least the years I've lived here.
What's the coolest show you got to play so far? Because you've played Sing Out Loud. I mean, the coolest show you got to play around town. You can give me a couple.
Don't offend anybody.
Bleeding Tree show.
I know, right? I'm like, oh man, pressure. Wow, I feel like any of the the amphitheater I played from porch. Record Fair was really cool.
Oh, good.
I feel like any Nobby's, Sarbez show. Nobby's was my first show I played in St. Augustine, and I don't know.
I love you at Nobby's.
Happy Knob Fest. Love Nobby's.
Yeah. Seeing you at Nobby's is an awesome thing. So I do think that's probably you fitting good. But there are probably a lot of opportunities now with what's happening at the amphitheater, and even with what Ward's doing at Sarbez and stuff. There's a lot more opportunities, I think, than there was just a little while ago.
I hope so. That's what we're trying to do.
Definitely, that's for sure. It's like you said, Ward was on my podcast, that there's a foundation being built for more other, more different kinds of things to happen. So
exactly,
it's there. It doesn't have to be created out of thin air. You know what I mean? Like we all kind of create things out of thin air. It's like, man, that's hard, but it's a lot easier when someone already did it. I can just go do my thing.
Well, and it's so different. I mean, we were talking. I love Tess, but she's different. She's not like there's a lot of people up there with a guitar that sound the same. Tess doesn't sound like that. Ryan Murphy's band, the Dead Air's just putting out their second album right now. That thing killed my ears. I'm like, oh my god! But he says that a lot.
I haven't heard it yet.
Oh my god!
The new one.
Yeah. They're unreal. Those guys are on fire, doing just what they want to do. But it goes to what he says. Ryan supports all the music. He says, doesn't mean I'm into all the music. He likes to see somebody just really getting excited and delivering the goods.
There is something I really love about going to see people play versus, and obviously, like, I want to support bands, buy merch, listen to their music, but to, like, go to a show and see, and there are certainly bands that I'm like, this isn't really my thing. Like, I don't know how much I like math rock, but I loved the show at Sarbez last night, like, seeing it.
That first band? I was there for, like, 5 minutes.
For Nom?
I didn't even know who they were. I thought my friend's band was playing first, and I was just going to pop in, but he's like, we're playing last, so I had to split. But that band was... Cinema. He was in
Prince Jr.
Prince Jr. Yeah.
They were good, but they were too jazzy for me. So I was like,
they're
so
like
talented.
They're like college kid music. It's good, but that first band was like so tenacious. They're like, we're in your guts, like I don't know, it was killer.
Miles was saying they started their set by screaming "My Girl." I missed that. I came halfway through their set, and unfortunately missed that. But he was like, it was like so ballsy that they did it,
It made me really happy just to see someone just completely no restraint like that. I love that kind of stuff.
That sounds awesome.
I don't want to listen to it all the time, but man, when you just walk in, you're just like, whoa, sweet. It's awesome.
All right, well, Teresa Rose is now bed sweater, but Charlie's got Charlie's now Canadian Lunch Money.
Right?
Charlie's Canadian Lunch Money, but he still plays his mental boy. He's still
mental boy when it's metal.
Right.
But I gotta say, and I haven't heard this song yet, and I can't wait. He's like Dawson. He has the best, shortest songs in the universe. Mm-hmm. But Charlie has a new song called Ramona Quimby is Not a Ramone.
Oh, yeah.
So that is genius. So if somebody doesn't put that one out as a St. Augustine single, all right? Charlie could do a single and put like 7 songs on,
Yeah.
I love Charlie.
It's too good. Oh, I love the local music scene. Ward, you've got to watch it grow up now with what you've been doing. What's your mission there for Bleeding Tree, and what are you trying to do? I mean, you're promoting shows of big names coming through, people like Tess and Shay and, all those guys.
I mean, if I was to say my mission, it's just to see musicians grow and get better. I love having the locals that not only am I friends with, but I get to see them grow. Sometimes even like push them, be that person that's like, you need to do this, you need to step out, go on tour. And then also just seeing the growth of some of these bands coming through. I just had a band called Von Strantz on Friday. It's their 4th or 5th time coming to Sarbaz on tour, and they're talking about our next one's going to be an album release tour with a full band, and so just exactly.
So when a band does that, when a band like Von Strantz does that, and they come back, are they bringing more people? Like, do people say, "Oh, I saw these dudes last time. I'm totally going to them"? Do you see the crowd?
Yeah,
same faces and growing.
Yeah, Lauren likes
awesome.
them. She is highly aware when they come in, so
yeah,
I can attest that one person feels that way.
There's a few. I've known actually some people with Von Strantz in particular that have like started stalking them basically on Facebook, and they know what city they're in like
That's
every
awesome.
night.
Where are they from? Where are they from?
They were in Nashville for a while. It was 2 sisters, and one of the sisters is now basically recording now, so it's turned into a husband and wife, and they just moved out to Colorado, I believe. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I'm pretty sure Colorado, somewhere out in that area. They just moved out there. So, but it's great. You see exactly what you're saying. You see people come and see them because they saw them in the past and they loved them and they want to see them again. So that grows. And it's just awesome to be part of that, to be doing business where you're seeing artists mature and helping them along the way.
Well, and it's funny because they want to come back here, obviously. You know, they fall in love with St. Augustine just like we do. And they want to, you know, hey, we'll be back. And they try to put it on the calendar, like you're saying, before they're even out of town. That's so sweet. And that's what Ryan Murphy's got going on. I mean, Brad Paisley just playing here. That was the biggest national touring act we've ever had at the amphitheater was Brad Paisley. And he wanted to play here. You know, Alan Jackson took us over dailies. He wanted to play here. So it's like, if you've lived here for a while, that's insane to think what's happening.
It's also weird to think that Brad Paisley is that big.
He's huge. He's huge.
I'm just like, oh, that's cool. I mean,
dude, he's like Ziggy. He plays a mean guitar.
Yeah, it's true. He is an amazing guitar player.
Yeah,
I feel like I guess when they have like Boston, they're not big anymore. They're just like legendary.
But they'll fill the place every time. Boston's a great example. That's money in the bank. You know, those bands, those baby boomer freaking classic rock bands, they are money in the bank.
Paul Simon played.
Yeah.
Paul Simon, Robert Plant.
Very sold out. Oh, I didn't know Robert Plant
Robert
played.
Plant played last year. It's the names are getting insane. I mean, we've had everybody. That's why I say Clapton on the radio the other day. Get us Clapton. Why not, you know?
Yeah, the Brad Paisley show kind of made me mad, though, because they closed the farmer's market.
The what?
The farmer's market was closed that day.
For Brad Paisley?
Yeah, it was such a big, he has such a big team with him, I guess. So it was closed, and I didn't remember until I tried to pull in.
Just the crew members could go and
I guess so.
Fresh fish.
And they call it on the rider for like what they require.
No fresh produce.
I would love to see that rider.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, but that I tell you, that's getting selected and being the place to be is just. I mean, it's just what we would want, along with the good weather. You know, along with no snow. I mean, who wants that? But no, it's a beautiful thing. All right, well, let's see. What do we got? I don't know if we got anything upcoming on the shows. We got some good music up. I just realized the other day I missed Mike and the Mechanics. It's like, how does that happen?
They did come?
Yeah, there was a 21st. I started reading the promo, and I'm like talking about Genesis, and I'm like, how did that? That was 2 days ago. I was like, oh no.
You got to keep up.
Yeah, last night. Was it last night? Yeah, last night Booker T was up there. Booker T. Jones. So much good stuff, though. I'm really looking forward to Dr. Dog. I got my Dr. Dog tickets. And, of course,
probably sold out.
The National. I don't know.
That's coming up, right? Or it's April?
April 15th is Dr. Dog. So,
that'd be cool.
Ward, what do you got coming up? You got any big stuff? Well, we could talk about this at the end too. But what you have any recent stuff you've done, or any stuff coming up that we should really know about and put on the calendar?
Well, not music related. I do have the steampunk art show. That's always a lot of fun. So that's going to be
Sarbaz.
No, this year it's going to be at the Anastasia Ballroom in the DoubleTree. It's fancy.
Wow.
Yeah. So that'll be really, really cool. And apparently we we ran out of vendor space like 2 weeks ago, but we still got other people hitting us up, so we might try to squeeze in some more tables.
That's so cool.
It's always a lot of fun, and it's different. It's an event. It's an art show, so it's not, in my normal wheelhouse, but I really, really
Is there
enjoy
music in it? Is it steampunk music related or
There
what?
usually is, and as this year we're trying to do a little different. We're going to focus more on, we always have like belly dancers that perform in like steampunk kind of attire, so we're going to focus more on them this year. But we always are looking, hope that in a few years we'll have it to the point that we're going to have like some bigger like steampunk names that we can get to come to it.
I feel clueless here, but I don't know. I know Fred Eaglesmith when he does the steampunk tour, and I know what they dress like, but I don't know any steampunk music bands. Or I can't. Is there any? Can we name any that I would know?
I'm trying to think.
These genres are getting too damn specific.
It's hard. He's the biggest one who is someone else.
Fred?
And he's someone else that you turned me on to. I did not know who he was. And before I ever met you, I listened to, I think you did an interview with him that you had on the Good Morning Americana. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you said that because Colton McKenna said that. Remember when he was in here, he said he'd never heard of Fred Eaglesmith. There's probably a lot of weird Canadian music, actually, not only Fred Eaglesmith. Fred Eaglesmith gets covered by a lot of other artists. But there is a lot of weird Canadian music that people probably know because of me. Stompin' Tom Connors, for God's sakes. You know that one, Micah? Oh, come on. He's like the Canadian Woody Guthrie, for God's sakes.
Todd. All right, all right.
Stompin'
So
Tom.
many names, right? I'm like just keeping quiet because I'm like, I don't know that person.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to look it up, though. You'd be Googling like
A
crazy.
direct question about like something. Like, okay.
I would never
Gotta
ask
go
you a
home.
Stompin' Tom question. Hey, Stompin'
home
Tom,
and look some
though,
stuff
a good point here. The Grammy Awards for Canada are called the Juno Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And when he felt in the 80s that Canadian music was getting too Americanized, he gave back all his Juno Awards. And he had won so many because he was such a Canadian maniac. Anything with the States, he was not
What
in.
does it mean what does Canadian music sound like?
What is so
It's
particular?
you know what?
different?
It's done by Canadians, and it's no.
And Charlie also.
No, but it means something
Yeah.
because in the 70s, laws were passed in Canada to support Canadian music that said 30% of the music, and it's still this way today, 30% of the music that's played on Canadian radio has to be Canadian artists. So artists at the time that were popular, like Joni Mitchell and Bachman Turner, the Guess Who, some of the Neil Young, some of those guys they were pissed at it because they had already made it, you know what I mean, in the with the American music. But all of a sudden it watered down, theoretically, Canadian music because it was like, well, you got to play more Stompin' Tom. No, I love Stompin' Tom. But it was like that. So anyway, Canadian music, though, is a lot like Americana. I mean, if you really think about it, a lot of the artists you're mentioning, like Fred Eaglesmith and Ron Sexsmith and guys like that are so Canadian, they fit right in my genre, for the Good Morning Americana
I know
show.
Sexsmith.
Yeah, Ron Sexsmith is great.
I wonder where he got that name. You know what I mean? Like an ironsmith is good at, working iron, so.
Well, he's a pretty professorial looking dude, too, He's not really a sex monster,
There's gold
He
in
looks more like a
them
chubby
hills.
professor. So, anyway, we're going to let Tess play a song, or I should say, Bed Sweater. That is such a good name. I
wanted it to be Bedwetter, but there's an Estonian pop punk band from the
Oh,
early
wow.
2000s that.
Wait a
beat me
second.
to it.
Bedwetter's not a
Bedwetter.
double entendre,
Well,
though.
but I was a bedwetter, so I
Oh
thought,
my
what a
gosh!
great-
Do you have a song
what a-
about that?
No, I should probably write one. But it might be confusing if I'm bed sweater and I write a song called Bedwetter. Right? Hey guys, I'm bed sweater.
No.
The song is called Bedwetter. Don't get confused.
I like that,
Well,
actually.
I don't.
You
Obviously,
gotta.
I can't do it then.
Back to the Canadian music.
I live to disappoint.
But you could have Bedwetter and Bed Sweater. Blue Rodeo has an album called oh God, it's terrible.
It's called
No, it's terrible. It's called gosh, what's it called? 5 Days in May is the name of the song, and it's a famous song. And then the name of the album is 5 Days in July. All right, there you go. So a little weird, but all right. Well, let's get the guitar. Let's play a song.
Here I am.
We're gonna.
Can I curse?
Yeah, this is the podcast.
Oh, I don't want to really do that.
Hey, Tess is great. She plays her. Do you have any regular gigs you play, or you just play anywhere and everywhere?
Probably should start. I used to. I had to take a break from playing.
You were in an accident like 6 months ago.